One day he's warm, he's engaged, and you feel a spark that is just impossible to ignore. The next he's distant, reserved, and you start to question everything. Like you find yourself replaying conversations, analyzing every text, and wondering, am I just making this all up? You see, he liked a photo you posted 3 years ago, maybe at 2 in the morning. You catch him looking at you from across the room only for him to quickly look away the second you meet his eyes, and you just dismiss it. You tell yourself it's a coincidence, a bored scroll, a random glance. You rationalize it because the other option, that it actually means something, feels way too vulnerable and too uncertain. But what if you're not imagining things? What if there aren't just random, meaningless actions at all? You're not crazy. While you've been busy looking for the big, obvious movie style signs that he's interested, you've been missing the one almost invisible signal that proves he's fighting his own pride because he just can't get you off his mind. It's the signal that shows up when he thinks no one, especially you, is watching. And today you're not just going to point it out, you're going to decode it and get into the deep psychological reasons behind it, so you can finally trade all that confusion for some clarity. Double tap this card to claim this interaction, this reading as well. Now, we're not talking about the obvious stuff. We all know what it looks like when a man is actively and openly trying to win you over. The good morning texts, the weekend plans, the direct compliments, those are crystal clear. We're here for the guy who's wrapped in ambiguity, okay? The one who is interested, maybe even really interested, but is being held back by something. It could be a fear of rejection. I feel a past heartbreak as well, or just his own ego getting in the way also. When a guy is in this state of internal conflict, his real feelings don't just disappear, they just leak out. They show up in a small, subtle, unconscious behaviors. And while we're going to explore a few of these today, they all circle back to one central thing: the secret signal. Think of the signs we're about to talk about as breadcrumbs. They lead you down the path, but the final destination, the secret signal, is the treasure map itself. So let's start following the trail. The first and most common breadcrumb he leaves is the classic hot and cold behavior. This is probably the most frustrating and confusing signal of all of them, to be honest. Like, there's nothing more complex than that as well. Looking at things, this is probably, it is indeed the most frustrating thing, but one moment you're having the most amazing conversation, he's like asking you all sorts of things, genuine questions about your life, your dreams, your passion. You feel seen, the chemistry can be electric, and you walk away feeling this incredible connection. But then what happens is radio silence, he pulls back, his texts get shorter, less frequent. He might even seem to avoid you in a group. This is the cold phase, and it's where most of us start to doubt ourselves. Because you think, did I say something wrong? Did I completely misread the situation? Hello, everyone. Here's what's really going on. That moment of intense connection, that was real. That was his genuine interest breaking through his defenses. But for a guy who's scared of his own feelings, that level of intimacy is both amazing and very terrifying. So the closeness triggers his internal alarm system. His fear of being vulnerable, of getting hurt, or of moving too fast kicks in, and his gut reaction is to retreat to a safe distance. He's not pulling away from you, he's pulling away from the intensity of his own feelings. It's like a classic push pull. He gets close, feels the heat, panics, and then backs off to cool down. But the interest doesn't just vanish, so after some time, he'll inch his way back, and the cycle starts all over again. Recognizing this pattern isn't about excusing the behavior, but it is about understanding where it comes from. It's not a sign of disinterest, it's a sign of a massive internal battle between his feelings for you and the fear of them. The second breadcrumb is way more subtle and often disguised as just a casual chat. Is when he starts bringing up the past. He'll say things like, "Remember that time we did this and that, and I was thinking about the conversation we had about." He might mention an old inside joke, a shared experience from months ago, or even a tiny detail that you told him about yourself that you'd completely change your energy, but that you've forgotten yourself even. This isn't just small talk. This is a deliberate, even if subconscious attempt for him to connect. Psychologically, memory and emotion are totally intertwined. When a man can't stop thinking about you, his mind will naturally drift back to the good times he's had with you. Those memories are charged with positive feelings by bringing them up. He's basically trying to recreate that good feeling in the present moment without having to straight up say, "Oh, I miss talking to you," or "I've been thinking about you." So it's a safe way to bridge the distance that's grown between both of you as an energy. He's testing the waters. He's sending up a little flare that says, "Oh, I remember you." Guys, for those who want a free reading, you can complete the link in my bio with your details, and I'll get you a 5 minutes free voice message reading, a personalized one. So, when he brings up a small detail that you shared, that's an even bigger tell. It signals that you are taking up some serious mental real estate, real events as well. He's not just remembering big events, he's archiving the little things that make you you. A man who's indifferent just doesn't do that. This is what he does when he's captivated by your energy as well. So the third breadcrumb is one you feel more than you see, is the noticeable shift in his entire vibe the moment you walk into his own space. Pay attention to how he is before he knows you're there. Watch him in a group of friends when he's relaxed, laughing, and totally uninhibited. He's just being himself. Then you walk in, and something changes. This change can go one of two ways, but both point to the same thing. First, he might suddenly get quieter, more reserved, almost guarded. He might stop talking mid sentence as well. His posture might stiffen and he becomes hyper aware of everything he's saying and doing. It's like a spotlight just hit him and he's suddenly changing his entire energy on stage as well. This isn't because he's unhappy to see you, it's because your presence has made him completely self conscious as well. So his inner monologue is going a mile a minute. "What should I say? How do I look? Don't do anything stupid," he tells himself. So his feelings for you have made him nervous and awkward. The second way this can go is the exact opposite. He suddenly turns on, he gets louder, he starts telling a big story to the group actually as well. So basically, in he's performing, he's trying to impress you, he wants you to see him as a confident, funny, interesting guy. Whether he clams up or puffs up, the key is the shift. Okay, so his natural relaxed state, you will feel, is totally disrupted by your presence. But why? Because you're not just another person in the room. To him, you represent a risk, a potential of embarrassment, a potential for rejection, but also for connection. His energy shifts because his emotional state has shifted, so he's no longer just existing, he's existing in front of you. And that, for a man fighting his feelings, changes everything. So, this signs, the hot and cold behavior, the nostalgia trips, the shift in his behavior are all powerful clues. They're the smoke that proves there's a fire of emotion burning just under the surface. A lot of people spot these signs and then just stay stuck there endlessly analyzing and trying to piece the puzzle together. But as strong as the clues are, they are all just symptoms. They all point back to one central secret signal, a signal so subtle, so easy to brush off. Most people miss it entirely is the thing that happens in the quiet moments in the digital world and in your peripheral vision is the purest reflection of his interest, because he does it when he thinks he can't get caught. This is the difference between a calculated move and a subconscious impulse, and the understanding of this final signal is the key to unlocking the whole puzzle. If you've been sitting here nodding along because you've seen one, two, or all three of the signs we've just discussed, then you really need to pay attention, because we're about to get to the very heart of all his confusing behavior. The single most overlooked signal that proves he's fighting his pride because he can't stop thinking about you is this: he watches you from a distance when he thinks you can't see him. This isn't just one thing, it's a two-part phenomenon, and I call the digital ghost and the distant guardian, basically. It is the purest sign of his interest because it's driven by impulse. Hello, everyone, lovelies. God bless you all. I'm sending you a big hug to all of you. Basically, let's break down first of all the first part, the digital ghost. In our world today, this is where the watching often starts. The digital ghost is the version of him that hunts your social media without even actually saying anything. This isn't about him liking your latest selfie, this is way more specific and telling. This is about him liking a photo from 6 months ago, year ago, or even 3 years ago. It happens at weird hours. When you see notifications, your first thought is probably, okay, that's a random thing, but it's not random. It's an act of pure fascination. In that moment, he's not trying to write the perfect text or worry about what to say. He's just taken in your world because he wants to be closer to it, basically. This also shows up when he's one of the first people to view your Instagram, your stories. He's making fake accounts, looking at your stories, looking at your energy. So this is the real world physical version of the digital ghost. This is the man who watches you from across the room. You're at a party, a coffee shop, or a work thing. You're totally in your own world, talking to other people, and then you get that feeling, the sixth sense, you know, that someone's looking at you. You scan the room, you catch him. His gaze is fixed on you, but the microsecond your eyes meet, he darts his away. Like he suddenly becomes fascinated by his drink, his phone, or the next person to him. So that wasn't a casual glance. You don't feel a casual glance. This was a stare. He was watching you when he thought you were unaware. So there are many aspects, my lovelies, and a lot of things happening, but the whole journey of decoding people is complex. And if you've ever felt lost in the mixed signals of modern dating, please know you're not alone. It's a topic we love getting into here. If things gave you a little aha moment, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. We're always breaking down the psychology of attraction as well and relationships to give you the confidence that you deserve in the process. Thank you so much for being here today with me.